that house again, this one right here. So you can see, yep, 10/16/2012, the Bank of New York took it over. So they were the ones that actually filed this to get whoever lived here out. So we're not going to use that. That is one that we're going to go next. And let's clear that off. All right, next one, Tennessee Housing Development Agency. What is that not? It isn't a name, right? It's not a John Smith or something like that, so we're going to go next. We're going to not use that. It's another one of those, and sometimes you'll have to go through quite a few of these. They'll be in a row, one after another. So now, as you'll notice, these are changing all of a sudden, but that's because I'm pausing the video and then just clicking through because there's simply a ton of the housing. So here we go, but here's one, Helena Nesbitt and 5516 Urbandale. So let's go ahead and look that up. And this right here, you can see this. Here, let's go back to that because I need you to make sure you understand this. What this is, you'll see these colors here. If you ever see a green for sale or for lease or sold, even leased, I would say we're probably not going to be sending or pending. We're probably not going to send to these people because they are already doing something with the property and we just didn't get there quick enough. Let's see. Yeah, and owned it since 2011. See, these are the things I'm looking at. First, I noticed she does live at a different address, so that's good. It is residential, single family, that's good. But you can see right here, only owned since 2011. That was the last sale date. And what did we say? It needs to be at least 3 years, about 2009 or sooner. This one simply isn't. So we'll clear that out and keep going forward. And Jerry Wimberly. Let's try this. Click to defendant to get the address. Here's one we're not going to use. Whenever you see one that says for the address, like you see how it says unit K1, anything over C, I would say the letter C, you're not going to use because we're not really trying to send out to people that have 5 or 10 unit complexes. You know, so A, B, or C, that would mean they may have 1, 2, or 3 units in there. But if it's anything D to Z, you're just going to pass it. So 270 Tampora unit K1, we know that's probably in a big complex. We're just going to say next. And Larry Patana, says DBA Patana Properties. That's a property manager. See how it has that extra to it, letting us know that it's a business. We're going to say next to that. We're going to say next to this one. Not a person there in P again. Going to say next to that, it's owned by a bank. Going to say next to that, owned by, and we're going to say next to that, owned by apartments. You can see how you have to sift and sort some of these, and you're not going to be entering, but you know, maybe 1 out of every 10 that comes across. This right here, not going to be entering that. First Management Services. Keep going next. Not going to enter this one. Keep going next. And not this one either. So at this point, I'm going to keep going forward till we find another name, and then I'll go ahead and rejoin here in the video. All right, and we have Ricky McClintock. So I went to defendant again to see what address we need to put in, 128 Orchard Drive. So now we're going to do 128, and Ricky McClintock, click on his name. And first thing we're going to look at is what? That's right, we're going to make sure the addresses are different from the mailing and the property address. And they are. So that's good. We can see it's residential duplex, it's not commercial. And we can see that he's owned it since 2000. So it's longer than 2009. So this is a good one. This is one that we are going to send a mail out to. So then we're going to get our web form pulled up. And from there, we are going to start entering our information. Okay, so the date you entered the information again, which is for me 11/28/12. Always select new status.